Greetings, welcome, and thank you for clicking. I'm Christian of Standing Stones Healing, encouraging your transformation during the life changes, challenges, and transitions of your journey with Reiki, card reading, and coaching. And I am so honored to welcome you to the April Choose One of 3 card reading for your April 2022 messages. Welcome, April. I don't know about you, but I love April. And here where I am in the eastern United States, April is very welcome. You know, April is so fresh, so shiny, so bright. I love April, so we are happy to have you here for sure. Now, if you are new to these readings, this is how it works. You choose number 1, 2, or 3, and there is a corresponding reading for that number for your monthly messages. Now, of course, as always, this reading for the monthly messages is called my Untethered Spread reading. And of course, as always, you are able to get your own personal, individual Untethered Spread reading. The link to check that out is in the notes. So thank you so very, very much. I invite us to please take a few deep cleansing breaths. We're going to set sacred space. We're going to clear away everything that has come before, everything that will come later, and focus in on this present blessed moment so that we may clear away and have the number for our monthly messages come to us. So please do join me. What is your number? 1, 2, or 3? Click below to go there straight away. Welcome, number 1. Number 1. Thank you for joining me for your April 2022 messages. Your Celtic Dragon Tarot card is the Chariot. The Chariot. Excellent, number 1. I've got some things coming up for that. Your angel card for April is Maya. Schooling, study, and education help your life's purpose and personal growth at this time. The angels will guide you and help you with this process. Wonderful. Okay, great. So, some learning happening for you, number 1. Number 1, your Archangel card for April is Moon Cycles. Archangel Haniel says, notice how the moon affects your energy and manifestations and capitalize upon these cycles. Thank you, Archangel Haniel. Your Viking rune for the month of April, number 1, is the rune of disruption. The rune of disruption. And finally, your Breathe Easy card is flow. I am in the flow. All things great and small flow and grow and follow their destiny. I breathe in the ability to go with the flow. I am filled with the confidence that I will be carried to exactly where I should be. I breathe out my desire to control everyone and everything. Okay, great. Thank you. So, number 1, here is what I am getting for you for your April messages. First of all, number 1, there's a lot of scattered energy going on here. So some scattered feelings, a sense of feeling scattered, and indeed a feeling of being off balance and unsettled for your April. Now, number 1, you may be feeling this right now, and you may find that as April unfurls, you are feeling these kinds of feelings. But I'm definitely getting the major indicators of some unsettled, scattered, unbalanced kinds of feelings. Now, number 1, it's going to be important for you in April to find that balance. So the Chariot is calling us to find balance and to strive for balance. Balance, I do want to say, number 1, is very subjective, meaning that what balance is to you is not necessarily what it means to someone else. And so this April, making sure that you are striving for balance and that you are doing that in ways that resonate and align with you. And those ways may not resonate and align with others. What really matters here, number 1, is what balance means to you and the ways in which you feel fulfilled in seeking balance. So make sure to keep that in mind, number 1, throughout your April. You may have very well-meaning friends and family telling you what you should do to feel balanced. And that's nice that they are caring, they are concerned for your well-being, and they want to offer their encouragement. And not always is it going to be what resonates with you. So make sure, number 1, that throughout the month of April, you indeed are finding what resonates with you and what feels balanced to you. So number 1, you've got some disruption going on. Now, again, this may be disruption that you are experiencing right now, and it may be disruption forthcoming in April. But definitely disruption is there. If it hasn't broken through the surface yet, it certainly is indeed an undercurrent of your experience right now. And the chances are pretty good that pretty soon it will start to make itself known externally in the world. And when I say externally, I mean not so hidden, but there will be signs of disruption. Now, when we hear the word disruption, and when we think of disruption, we often have a tendency to think that it's got to be big, like I just had the image of a volcano, or an earthquake, or a tidal wave. And disruption, yes, indeed, is those things. And disruption is also very small things, including the disrupting of the ground when a shoot is breaking into and above the soil. So know that disruption doesn't have to be a big cataclysmic thing, that indeed it can be very subtle, very small, and also number one, very positive. So we also often think that disruption has a negative connotation. It's a bad thing. Oh no, things are disrupted. This is bad. But disruption indeed can be a very good thing, just like with the seed cracking open and the sprout disturbing the ground as it breaks through. That's disruption, and that's good disruption. You know, as a matter of fact, number one, I'm just getting the message that it might be time for some disruption in your life in April. And so you may want to be considering how you can create some good disruption in your experience this month, just like the shoot disturbing the soil as it springs forth. You know, number one, depending upon where you are in the world, April, of course, is a grand time for things breaking through the soil and literally springing forth. And so, number one, you may want to take some inspiration from that at this time and just pay extra attention to things springing forth, things being disrupted, and disruption happening as newness is sprouting. So, not necessarily a bad thing. Now, for you, number one, it may indeed feel like a bad thing. It may indeed feel disturbing, and it will feel uncomfortable because disruption, even when it is positive, still feels uncomfortable. That's part of disruption. That's part of change. As a matter of fact, I write about it in my book, Standing Like the Stones. And you can get that book for free as part of my Life Change Encouragement Kit at standingstoneshealing.com. The link is below. Definitely check that kit out. Not only does it have my Standing Like the Stones book, it also includes a life change meditation and affirmations with Native American Style Flute. So that may very well be helpful for you during this time of disruption in April, number one. So disruption. Now here's what else I'm getting for you, number one. I'm getting the encouragement that, you know, balance, as I mentioned, is subjective. And balance is all about what feels comfortable to you. And I'm also getting that maybe doing some learning, some studying, some reading is going to help you to feel more balanced at this time, is going to help you to feel more settled. So maybe taking some time out at this disturbing time. I even just got the words crazy and hectic come through. But it may be a good idea for you to carve out some purposeful, intentional time to sit down and do some study, some reading, some education, some personal growth. Maybe some personal growth podcasts, personal growth books, personal growth, all kinds of things. Oh yes, personal growth books like the Standing Like the Stones book. Sure thing. But definitely at this time, that's a consideration for you as you strive to maintain your balance during this time of disruption. It might seem a little scary, might seem a little uncomfortable, and you have the power to bring things back into equilibrium. You have the power to make some time for reflection, growth, and healing as well during your April number one. Number one, what else am I getting here? We've got Archangel Haniel, who says, pay attention to the moon cycles. You know, the moon is very influential. Like, the moon moves the oceans. That's a lot of influence. And yet, it's just sitting up there in the sky, quietly doing its thing. Every month, it is changing phases, so often goes unnoticed. It's just quietly exerting its influence. You are being encouraged this month, number one, to consider that influence and consider what influence the moon might be having on you, even as you might not realize it. So even as the moon is moving whole oceans and it goes unnoticed, indeed, the moon may very well be having an impact upon you as well. So, number one, some encouragement to tap into the moon. You know, the moon is incredibly powerful, and it is very underrated and underestimated. So this month, you may want to go outside, look at the moon, honor the moon, consider the moon, maybe do some rituals based upon the phases of the moon. And by the way, when I say rituals, I mean they can be something very small. Rituals do not have to be big and elaborate. But ritual can really help you to tap into the power and harness the power of the moon. Ritual can also be very helpful for finding and creating balance too. So ritual is a powerful signal to the brain. You may want to be conducting a ritual or two during the month of April, number one. Now, I am always a big proponent of ritual, and I'm getting that as a real encouragement for you to consider at this time. Now, number one, you also had the card flow. I am in flow. Fascinating, right? That we have the rune of disruption and an encouragement for flow, and the Celtic Dragon Tarot card, the Chariot, all about balance. So, number one, consider flow and consider being in the flow this month, whatever it means to you. There might be times this month when it feels like things are not in the flow. There may be times this month when it feels like there is disruption and, gosh darn it, things are damned. And I mean damn, D-A-M, D-A-M, damn. Things are damned. And it feels like things are stuck. It feels like things aren't moving. This is a great opportunity for you, number one. When we recognize moments of stuckness or damnness, it's very helpful for us to recognize that, honor that, notice that, because always there is a message in those stuck feelings. Always there is a message in the lack of flow, or at least the feelings of lack of flow. So for your April number one, you may want to be considering picturing free-flowing waters. You may want to be picturing the ocean moving. Indeed, you may want to be picturing the moon having an impact upon that moving and the waves back and forth. But the idea here, number one, is just picturing free-flowing movement. Water is wonderful for that, of course, because water by its nature is free-flowing. So picturing flowing water, maybe tapping into images of flowing brooks and streams. Yes, as a matter of fact, I also have on this channel a playlist of music and meditations with Native American Style Flute and Babbling Brook. It is a series. You can check it out to get some inspiration for free-flowing movement at this time. But indeed, number one, you've got some scattered energies, you've got some disruption, you've got some feelings of being unsettled and out of balance. And for your April, you're being called to bring those energies in, focus, concentrate them, and find the balance in what it means to you. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy. And considering the ways in which it feels appropriate and right to you to bring balance into your April. Beautiful. Number one. Such power here. Such encouragement as well. So number one, thank you so much for the honor of offering you your April 2022 messages. Of course, as always, this is a reading that you are able to get for yourself, your own April messages, your own whatever messages you are able to get with an individual Untethered Spread card reading. You know, I also want to invite you, number one, to join me in my Encouraging Your Journey Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/encouraging your journey. And in that group, we are talking, as a matter of fact, all about these topics of ritual and ways to help bring ourselves into balance, like walking and gratitude and clearing and cleaning clutter. So I invite you to join us in the Encouraging Your Journey group. You are welcome very much. And I want to say thank you so much for the honor of sending you your April messages. To you, number one, I say blessings and best wishes for your April 2022. By the way, number one, I also encourage you, no matter when you are watching this in April, to check back at the end of the month. Because this reading, the Untethered Spread reading, is a multi-layered reading that unfurls and opens and provides layers of meaning. And so I encourage you to come back at the end of the month, no matter when you listen in, to see how the reading resonates with you at that time. Oftentimes, it unfurls more and more meaning as the month goes on. And of course, I do invite you to please like, subscribe, share, mention in the comments which number did you pick, number one, and did it resonate with you? What are your thoughts? I love to hear from you. Thank you so very much, number one. I send you blessings and best wishes for your April. It's not March anymore. Well, actually, today is the last day of March. I do these readings on the last day of the month for the next month. So I send you blessings for your April 2022. Greetings, number two. Welcome, number two, to your April. Choose one of three messages. Number two, your Celtic Dragon Tarot card is the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles. Wonderful. Number two. Number two, your angel card is Serena. I am the angel of abundance. You will receive the money that you need, and God is in charge of how that will happen. Have faith. Thank you, Serena. Wonderful. Your Archangel card number two is Counselor. Archangel Azrael says, you are a natural counselor, and many people benefit from your guidance and reassurance. Okay, great. I'm getting some things coming up here for sure. Number two. Lots of great things. Number two. And number two, your Viking rune for April is Flow. The rune of flow. Finally, your Breathe Easy card is Compassion. I am compassionate. Compassion is the life breath of peace, love, and healing. I breathe in compassion for all beings who have also breathed within the cycle of birth, living, and death. I am filled with forgiveness for my own mistakes. I breathe out fear, anger, and envy. Great. Okay, number two. Here is what I'm getting for you for your April. You've got, number two, some newness on the horizon. You've got some newness hatching in your life at this time. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, which is about newness, about hatching and growth and springing forth of life. You can see we've got baby dragons here cracking open, ready to go and to greet the world. So lots of newness. Now, what I also just got here, number 2, is newness in terms of not just newness as in the springing forth of life that happens in April and new things coming into your life. I also just got the message of creativity for you for April, number 2. And that there's some creativity hatching in your life at this time for your April. So some encouragement to pay attention to that, recognize that, and even tap into that and leverage that creativity that is flowing through you for your April, number 2. That's exciting. So what else do we have here? Well, we've got Serena, the angel of abundance, who is telling us that good things are coming to you. Money, yes, very well could be money, number 2, for your April. Very well could be that the newness hatching in your life is bringing in money. And also, abundance comes in an infinite number of forms. Abundance is abundant in the ways that it can look, the forms that it can take, and the shapes that it appears in. So number 2, know that there is abundance here for you for your April. April is abundant for you, number 2. And that very well mean in terms of money, that very well may mean in terms of cold hard cash, and it also may mean things like creativity or love or energy or fill in the blank. But you've got some good things coming to you in April, number 2. So be aware of that, recognize that, honor that, and get ready for it. You know, one thing that you may want to do is to notice the abundance around you in the actual outside world at this time, depending upon where you are in the world. Where I am in the world, April is a time of new life, new growth, of baby dragons hatching. So it is a time indeed of abundance and new life springing forth all around. And so you may want to notice those signs this month, number 2, to give you inspiration for the abundance, the hatching in your own life at this time. Wonderful. Thank you so much. So now, what else do we have going on here? You know, the counselor card in the Archangel deck. Here's what I'm getting very clearly from the counselor card. Encouragement for you to be encouraging. You know, number 2, you may very well be an actual counselor. You may very well be a therapist. You may very well be some kind of leadership figure. You may very well be a parent who is counseling. Whatever the case may be, there's encouragement here with this card to be encouraging. So at this time in April, to be helping other people to hatch the baby dragons in their own life. So helping other people to see the growth that is springing in their life as well, and to encourage others on their journey. You know, encouragement is such an incredible gift that we have the power to give one another. And yet so often we hold back on that. And we do have the power to help one another on our journeys. And so number 2, you're being encouraged this month to help people with listening, with guidance, with just encouraging them on their way, sending them well wishes, sending them blessings and sending them good fortune, good luck for abundance in their own lives. So number 2, it may very well be helpful for you this month that as you focus on the abundance coming to you and the signs of the abundance in the world around you, you may want to be helping others to recognize the abundance in their lives. You may want to be encouraging others to hatch their own baby dragons. You may be wanting to cheer others on in their creativity. So consider that for your April number 2, because truly, number 2, when we encourage others, we are indeed encouraging ourselves. There is this very powerful Buddhist koan that has to do with encouragement. A student on a meditation retreat asked Soen Nakagawa, "Master, I am so discouraged. What should I do?" Soen replied, "Encourage others." Truly, this is what it is all about, number 2, encouraging others when we ourselves feel discouraged. And so I want to encourage you to encourage others in their own creativity, encourage others on their own journey this month as you are encouraged by the abundance and the creativity and the flow in your own experience for your April. So, number 2, with this rune of flow, what I'm getting for you is the encouragement to consider the ways in which things are flowing in your life and to consider the ways in which abundance is flowing into your life and creativity and all of the newness of April for you, number 2, to consider that in terms of flow and to see it very much in a way of an in and an out, a back and a forth, and that this is the natural way of things. Things come in, things go out, things flow by, things flow by. The waves in and out. So maybe considering as you go through your April, how indeed things are coming in and things are going out. And that's the natural way of experience. That's the natural way of life. That's the natural way of the oceans, back and forth and back and forth. So lots of flow here for you. Now, compassion. What is this compassion card about? Okay, so compassion is, of course, incredibly important. So important, it needs to be divided into 2 words, important. So, number 2, maintaining compassion for yourself is always important. And what I'm getting from this card is the importance right now of compassion for others and perhaps their own challenges and their own struggles with flow, and indeed compassion for yourself with your own struggles with flow, letting go. And even number 2, what I'm just now getting, accepting the newness coming in. Sometimes when we have abundance, sometimes when things come into our lives, sometimes when there's creativity and newness hatching, we might say, well, who am I? Who am I to have this newness? Who am I to get this money? Who am I to have this creativity? Who am I to write a book? Who am I to write a song? Who am I? And number 2, you are being encouraged to have compassion for yourself when those questions come up, those uncertainties, those doubts, those feelings of, why me? Why am I deserving of the money? Why am I deserving of the creativity? Why am I deserving of the abundance and the flow? To let those feelings flow, to honor them, to recognize them, and to realize that indeed they are part of the process of opening ourselves up. They are part of the back and forth, part of the ebb and flow, part of the cracking open of our own shell, springing into newness and ready to receive. So this month, number 2, get ready to receive. It is an exciting time for you, absolutely wonderful, an encouragement to encourage others in their receiving, in their abundance, and in their creativity. So encourage others this month. Number 2 will be very helpful for you in honoring, acknowledging, and recognizing the abundance. You know, encouraging others in receiving abundance and being open to that helps to encourage yourself in receiving abundance and being open to that. So wonderful. Number 2, so very excited for you for your April abundance. I love it. Number 2, of course, as always, this is my Untethered Spread reading. This is a unique reading you will not find anywhere else, and it is a multi-layered reading. So I do encourage you to stop back, no matter when you are watching this in April, stop back at the end of the month, because these readings open up themselves, they unfurl, they're much like the cracking open of an egg and a hatching. So some encouragement for you to come back at the end of the month and see how this reading has hatched in your own life. Now, I also want to encourage you, you are more than welcome to get my Life Change Encouragement Kit. So this kit is very encouraging for your own experiences, and it will also have some great tips in there for you to encourage others this month, number 2. So you can get that kit at standingstoneshealing.com/kit. It has my Standing Like the Stones book about weathering and withstanding, surviving and thriving during life changes, with lots of great encouragement that is applicable at any point in your life. It also has a life change meditation and affirmations with Native American Style Flute. And so that will help encourage you to encourage others during this month. And of course, as always, you can get your own unique, individual Untethered Spread reading for even more messages that apply specifically to you and your experience. So you can check that out. The link is below. And of course, please do like, please do subscribe, please do share, please do comment below, number 2. Which number 2, did you choose? Did it resonate with you? What are your thoughts? I love to hear from you. So thank you so very much, number 2. I appreciate you and send you blessings and best wishes. One final thing, number 2, to help you encourage others, you may want to stop in on my Encouraging Your Journey group. Yes, I have a group on encouragement. It's at facebook.com/groups/encouraging your journey, with encouragement for your journey and encouragement that you can take and encourage others with. So thank you, number 2. I appreciate you, and I appreciate the honor of sending you your April 2022 messages. Thank you, and blessings. Greetings, number 3. Welcome, number 3, to your April Choose One of 3 card reading messages. Thank you, number 3. Number 3, your Celtic Dragon Tarot cards. Number 3, you had 2 Celtic Dragon Tarot cards pop out. you had, whoa, the Ace of Swords. Great. And the Nine of Swords. All right. Number 3, I've got some things coming up for you right now for sure. But let's see what else we have from the cards. We have, for your angel card, Aurora. You are flying high right now, which may threaten others. But don't descend, because others will soon become inspired by your example. Thank you, Aurora. Now, number 3, you also had 2 Archangel cards. They are Patience. Archangel Jophiel says, your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. Still, they need nurturing and patience. Thank you, Archangel Jophiel. Wonderful. And your second Archangel card is Crystal Clear Intentions. Archangel Michael says, be clear about what you desire and focus upon it with unwavering faith. Thank you, Archangel Michael. Thank you, Michael. And your rune is the rune of movement. Movement. And finally, your Breathe Easy card is Enlightenment. I am enlightened. Enlightenment comes from understanding the dualities of life. We are each but a speck in this universe, and yet to each of us, its center. I breathe in the worlds beyond my world. I am filled with the power that animates the planets. I breathe out all limits. Okay, great. Number 3, here's what I'm getting for you loud and clear in this reading. You very well may be lately feeling like this, the 9 of Swords. Oh no, woe is me. What have I done? What's happening here? Things are not going the way I want them to. Things are not working out. I feel stuck. I feel like I can't move forward. I feel like I've gotten myself into a jam. And woe is me. Holy cow. Holy crap. What is happening here? So just some feelings, number 3, of, oh man, what the heck is going on? Now, number 3, you may be feeling this right now. I'm actually getting the strong indication that you really are feeling this right now, and you may be feeling this during the month of April. I'm getting some strong indications that this is going on for you now, and it may very well even not be a major feeling in your life yet, but certainly at least there's an undercurrent of this kind of broken swords lying all around you. Like, how do I put these back together? How do I piece this back together? And what the heck is going on? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Okay, so number 3, this is the feeling that you're having right now, or that is on the horizon, and you're being encouraged to pick up your head. Lift up your head, number 3. Get it out of your hands, because newness indeed is on the horizon. Things are breaking open. Things are growing. Things are coming. Things indeed are cracking in a good way in terms of hatching. So newness is here. You're being encouraged, number 3, to lift up your head and recognize that it's all okay. It might feel like maybe you've messed up. It might feel like, oh no, what have I gotten myself into? It might feel like, oh, crap. Now what do I do? Now where do I go? What a mess. But indeed, number 3, the mess, at least as you perceive it, is springing forth newness. You know, if you look at a fire, number 3, like the one in the background, a fire looks like a mess, doesn't it? You've got things burning, you've got flames leaping everywhere. It's kind of a mess. And yet, newness comes from fire. Just like this sword sprouting from the fire. So number 3, know that for this month, there is newness sprouting from the fire. There is hatching. Things are indeed growing. We have Archangel Jophiel, who is telling us, listen, you know, you've been tending the flowers, you've been tending the garden, maybe you've been feeling a little defeated, wondering when things are going to sprout, wondering when things are going to grow, wondering, number 3, if anything is going to come of the watering of the flowers. And why are you doing this anyway? Because nothing's happening. It's not working. The flowers ain't going to grow. And number 3, you are being encouraged to continue watering the flowers. Continue caring for your garden. Continue growing what it is you are growing. And know that indeed things are getting ready to sprout, getting ready to burst forth, getting ready to crack open. It's going to take some time. So you're being encouraged to have patience, and you're being encouraged to, as you are patient and tending your garden, to not have your head in your hands, but to rather lift your head up and know with confidence that the garden indeed is going to sprout new life. And indeed, the fire is going to give birth to new things, that things are rising from that fire. Number 3, at this time, what is also going to be very helpful for you is the intention of what it is exactly you want to be growing in your garden. What flowers are you watering? What seeds have you planted? So setting some very clear intentions is going to help you get your head out of your hands. It's going to help you feel empowered. And it's going to help you to know exactly what flowers you should be watering at this time. Or let me take out the word should. What flowers you want to be watering at this time. What seeds you want to be cultivating. So some encouragement at this time, number 3, to get clear. Stop looking at the broken swords on the ground and saying, what a mess, what have I done? How am I going to get myself out of this? And to set some clear intentions about where you want to go from here, what it is you want to be bringing into your life, what it is you want to be sprouting. So, setting some clear intentions. Now, Archangel Michael is here always for us. Archangel Michael is always here to assist us. Particularly, Archangel Michael is here to assist us with protection, increasing energy, and raising our vibration. And Michael is here to help us with all kinds of things. By the way, as an aside, number 3, if you ever feel unsafe, call upon Archangel Michael for sure. But Archangel Michael is here to assist you at this time, number 3. So don't be afraid to call upon him. You know, you can also call upon Archangel Jophiel and say, hey, Jophiel, help me out here. I need some help with intention. I need some help knowing which seeds it is best for me to be watering right now, and which seeds are going to be cracking open and springing forth newness. So call upon divine guidance and assistance for you at this time. You know, I also want to encourage you at this time, number 3, to get in some movement. Movement is very helpful for us in creating newness and in cultivating a sense of growth. So, you know, when things are growing, cracking open and sprouting, that's movement, right? We don't really think of it as movement, but indeed, the seed is cracking open, the sprout is moving upward, growing towards the sun, busting out of the earth. And so movement is very helpful for us to create growth in our own lives, to cultivate growth, and to recognize that we are not so stuck as we might seem. So this very much is a feeling of stuckness, defeat. Where do I go from here? What have I done? How do I fix this? Oh no, oh me, oh woe is me, oh my. Getting in some movement, number 3, is going to help with those feelings. Because if you check this guy out, he's not moving. He's got his head in his hands, and he is not moving forward in the world. So doing some literal physical movement forward is going to help you to feel like you are doing some figurative movement forward in your own life during April, number 3. Now, number 3, what I'm also getting here for you is with Aurora, that it's almost like a back and forth push and pull. You know, Aurora saying you're flying high, you've got this, don't descend, and you may very well have moments of that. So, you know, we have these 2 cards that are really almost like opposites. Like, what is happening here? This guy feels stuck, woe is me. This angel is flying high. What's happening here? Yep, that back and forth with our feelings and emotions is completely normal when we have newness that is about to burst forth in our lives, when we have hatching happening in our lives. The back and forth, one moment I feel stuck and defeated, the next moment I feel like I'm flying high. What's going on? That is normal. So recognize that, honor that. As a matter of fact, I talk about it in my Life Change Encouragement Kit, my book, Standing Like the Stones. Now, it focuses on life change, and indeed, anytime we have any kind of changes, those are life changes, even very small ones, we have this kind of back and forth, push and pull sense of our feelings. I encourage you to get that kit. Number 3, it's at standingstoneshealing.com/kit. Completely free kit. Beautiful ebook with life change meditation and affirmations with Native American Style Flute to encourage you during your April and with these back and forth feelings and the newness that is sprouting in your experience and the newness that is on its way. So definitely check that out. It is free for you. But, you know, when we have these moments of flying high and feeling like, yes, we are accomplishing things. Yes, we are moving forward. Yes, we are sprouting our dreams. Yes, the dragons are hatching. We can have others who say to us, well, who do you think you are? Or, well, what do you mean you're doing that or you're accomplishing that? Or, yeah, right. That's part of the process too. So the haters, number 3, are part of the process of growth. You're always going to have people who are naysayers, and keep flying anyway. Keep moving forward, keep going, keep watering your seeds, because so often, eventually, the haters become inspired. The people who say, you can't do that, who do you think you are? What do you mean you're doing X? What do you mean you're doing Y? And then, when they see you doing it, they take a step back and say, oh, whoa, they're actually doing it. Well, that's pretty cool. Well, that's pretty admirable. So number 3, keep going on with your bad self. Know that if you have the haters who are saying to you, why do you keep watering these dead seeds? Nothing's coming of it. Stop watering the dead seeds. That, yes, indeed, those very people, once your seeds sprout, are ones who may very well say, wow, look at that. Wow, you did it. I can't believe you kept watering those seeds. I can't believe those seeds actually sprouted. It's incredible. Indeed. Incredibleness. Is that a word? Incredibleness? Incredibleness is all around us, number 3. And why not in your own life as well? Indeed, it's already there, number 3. So this is wonderful, number 3. So excited for you. Finally, enlightenment. What is up with this enlightenment card? Well, what I'm getting from this card is just the image of a light bulb going on, the flip of a switch. And it's the idea here, number 3, is that in picking up your head and recognizing that you're not so stuck as you think and to keep moving forward, that's like a light bulb going off, right? That's like a light switch and like a, oh yes, I can do this. Oh yes, I am going to keep moving forward. Oh yes, I need to trust and have faith and have patience too. That lifting up of the head is like a little light bulb going off. So when you pick up your head and look around, number 3, think of that like a light bulb going off, like a light switch turning and the lights coming on. Aha, yes, I see. I am going to continue watering my seeds. I am going to continue moving forward. I am going to set crystal clear intentions and move forward with those crystal clear intentions. Because indeed, newness is hatching. You know, number 3, when we water seeds, it truly is an act of faith. And so throughout your April, you truly are acting on faith. And when we water seeds, we don't know what's happening underneath. You know, we have to wait to see what happens. We water and we water and we water. And as we water, we don't see anything on the surface. When indeed, underneath, the seed may very well be cracking open and it may very well be pushing up through the dirt. It just hasn't reached the top of the soil yet to where we can see it. That is a true act of faith. That is a true act of trust. We also know that not always does every single seed sprout. That's part of the process, and that's okay. And setting some crystal clear intentions about which seeds you want to water is going to be helpful for you at this time. Making sure to care for those seeds lovingly is going to be helpful. And also making sure to set aside the voices of the haters is going to help you to keep watering the seeds as well. So keep going, number 3. Throughout the month of April, you may feel discouraged. You may feel encouraged. You may feel like you've got your head in your hands. You may feel like you are moving forward. All of that is part of this process of birthing new things in the world. Birth is a struggle, birth of any kind. So know, number 3, that this back and forth during this time of newness on the horizon is completely normal. 100%. I talk about it in the Standing Like the Stones book. So number 3, thank you so much for the honor of sending you your April messages. This is very encouraging and exciting. And number 3, if you're looking for more encouragement, I encourage you to stop in on my Encouraging Your Journey group. It's at facebook.com/groups/encouraging your journey. Lots of encouragement in that group. So please do stop in for encouragement for your April. I also want to encourage you, number 3, please like, please share, please subscribe. Please also feel free to comment in the comments which number you chose, number 3, and if the reading resonated with you. I love hearing from you. You may also, number 3, finally want to get your own Untethered Spread reading. This reading is called the Untethered Spread. It is a unique card reading that you will not find anywhere else, and I offer it on an individual basis for your own personal messages as well. You can learn more in the notes. Thank you so much, number 3. It is my true honor to send you blessings and best wishes. I also encourage you, number 3, to stop by at the end of the month and listen in on this reading again, because this Untethered Spread reading does unfurl itself and reveal layers. It's a multi-layered reading. So what that means is that it may very well resonate with you differently at the end of the month than it does now, whenever it is that you are listening. So I encourage you to stop by at the end of the month. I do the same. I choose a number 1, 2, or 3, and then I do the reading, of course. Then I listen to it. Then I stop back at the end of the month to see how it resonates. And even though I do the readings, it surprises me too. So thank you all so very much. I send you blessings and best wishes for your journey.